Hey guys, so I just woke up this morning, and as I was trying to wake up for the day, I was just scrolling through Facebook and I saw a post I have seen before, but it didn't really down on me like the way it did this morning. And I have woken up for like 2 hours now, and that keeps coming to my head. Like I keep remembering it. So I'm going to put the post somewhere here. It says it's important to realize that you're living inside one of your answered prayers while you wait for your next one. There's always a place for gratitude. This is really deep. At every moment, at every point in your life, there's always something you're praying for. You're always wishing for something, you're always praying for something. And then when we get that thing, we tend to look at the next thing we're praying for. We don't most times sit back and appreciate God for the one He has given us, because we've carried another request on our head. Like we're looking for something else, we're looking for the next thing. So we don't usually sit back to thank God. Like where I am currently is an answered prayer. If you look deep down watching this video, you get to know that you're actually living inside one of your prayers. You have been praying for this, your current life, current job, current children, current house. You prayed for this thing and it has happened. How have you sat down to thank God? Because you're currently looking for the next thing. Like, let me use myself for an example. I remember 2 to 3 years back, my main prayer point was for my application to be approved to relocate to Canada. For over a year, my prayer point was, God, answer my prayer. Let us be able to move, all of us, like my husband, my kids, to be able to relocate to Canada. That was my prayer point. If anybody could listen to my prayer, that was the major thing. And God answered our prayers. Of course, we're happy, we jubilated and all that. We're currently here in Canada now. Deep down, I know what my next prayer point is. And I don't really take the time to remember that God has answered my prayer. I am now in Canada. I am in my dream country. I am happy. My kids are happy. Everybody is happy. I do thank God once in a while. But the next big thing in my head is what is troubling me right now. Like, that is my next prayer point. You wake up in the night, you pray, you think, you complain, you lament, you vent. God, this next thing I'm praying for, I've not gotten it. When is it going to happen? You'll be depressed. You'll be making it look as if God has never done anything for you. While waiting for the next big thing, while I'm waiting for the next prayer point, can I take time to be grateful for where I am? Can I take time to be grateful for what I have achieved? The current job I am doing now, it was a prayer point at the time. It was a prayer point at the time when I was in my previous job and I was tired of that job and I was looking for something else. I wanted to work in the banking industry. I was looking for the right time to apply. I got the opportunity. I applied. I got interview invite. I was praying, God, make me pass this interview. I did the interview. I passed. I got the job. And then I have something else in my head, which of course I cannot say here. And that has somehow made me to forget, like, this current job you're doing, you were praying for it. You called your mom back home. Mommy, pray for me. Oh, you know, mother's prayer is always answered. Oh, the prayer of a mother, there's no barrier between a mother's prayer for her child and all those things, you know. She prayed for me, I got the job and everything. Now I've gotten the job and it's looking like a big deal. Like, yeah, I have the job. Next, you know. It also happens in, like, for some people that it took them a hard time to get pregnant. They got married, they couldn't get pregnant. They prayed, fasted, did this, did that, visited hospitals, did different tests and all that. And God has answered your prayer. Now you have a child. You're now thinking of the next big thing. Like, okay, now I have this child. Okay, that one is a done deal. You're now thinking of the next big thing. Maybe like, I want to relocate. I want to change my house. I want to buy a house. And then we just make it, and especially when that's your next prayer point is taking time to materialize, it's taking time to happen, you just make it look like God has never done anything for you. Can we take time to sit back and appreciate God? Thank God for where I am right now. I am in a house. I know I was praying for this house at a point. Like, we just bought this house. I'm saying we just got this house. It's last year. So we got this house last year. I know how we were praying for our offer to be accepted. We're praying for the bank to approve our application. I know how there was some few days back, I was driving home, and I remember when we were hoping to buy this house is visible from close to my former house. Whenever I'm driving to work, I pass this house and I see this house, like the back view is very visible from a very far place because in a new layout. And whenever I'm driving to work, I will be looking at this house. I'll be like, God, just make this house our own. Just make our application to be approved. Just make us to be able to get this house, because a lot of people wanted to buy this house. I was always praying. Whenever I'm going to work, whenever I'm passing by, I'll be peeping at the house. I'll be looking at the house. I will be praying. God has answered our prayer. We got the house. We've been in this house for months, almost a year. And then I just feel, yeah, I have the house now. Next, what's the next thing? You know, I wish I could share what the next thing is in my head. Like, that is my next prayer point. Like, I'm praying, like, God, make this thing happen. If this thing should happen, in fact, I will do this, I will do that, I will do this. I have forgotten that God has been answering all my prayers. God has been answering all my prayers. Like, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. There is nothing that I have ever wished for, nothing that I have ever put my mind to, that I have ever prayed for, that I have not gotten. I don't know. Like, whenever I pray for something, whenever I wish for something, whenever I want something, I get it. And sometimes when I'm now thinking of the next big thing I want to do that has not yet happened, I just kind of, it just looks like God has not even done anything for me. If God was human, if we human beings were God, like if I was God, and with the way you're praying, doing prayer requests and fasting and praying for something, the way I will knock your head and be like, have you forgotten what I've been doing for you all your life? In your past 40 years, I've been doing things for you. I have not done this one now, and you're making it look like I have never done anything for you. In fact, I want to even retrieve what I have done for you. I want to collect it back. Like, you're not grateful, you're not appreciative. Thank God we're not God. Thank God humans are not God. If not, I wonder what this world would be like. So back to it. It is important to realize you are living inside one of your answered prayers. Think deep. If you're in Canada, here you're in the US, you're in UK, at a point you were praying to relocate. You were praying for your application to be approved. You were always writing prayer requests. You were always waking up in the night praying. Sit down and appreciate God. Thank you, God, for this thing you've done for me. You've been praying for your child that has been wayward. He has not been behaving well, rude and all that, and suddenly the child just changed. The child is now the way you want the child to be. You see it as normal. It's not normal. God answered your prayer. You are inside an answered prayer. You don't see that as something God has done for you. You're no longer grateful. You're looking for the next big thing. Is it a job? You're in a messy job, a very toxic working environment, and then you're in a better place now, and then you just see that, yeah, done deal. Can you be grateful for God? God has taken you away from that toxic job. You are now somewhere that you love. Is it a business that you've been wanting to do this business for a very long time? You've been looking for money, you've been looking for capital, you've been looking for ideas, you've been looking for a lot of things. Now you're in that business, you're now flourishing, you're doing well, you're selling well, you have customers, you're doing okay, and then you just think that you did it yourself. No, you didn't. Appreciate God for answering that prayer. Realize, remember that there was a time you're praying for that thing. While you're waiting for the next big thing, can you appreciate God? We have a lot of things to be thankful for. A lot of things. For you to even be able to wake up in the morning, you sleep, you wake up, you do it repeatedly, you think it's your power. No, it's not your power. We have a lot of people that sleep, they don't wake up. They sleep, they wake up with the kind of sickness that they don't know where it came from. People get stroke, paralysis, sickness they've been dealing with for years. Some people cannot sleep, some people cannot eat, some people cannot even go to the toilet. They have cancer, they have things that is bothering them. And we just sleep, we wake up, we think it's our power. No, it's not our power, it's an answered prayer. We always pray, God, give me good health, give me old age, let me be healthy in my old age. And you're healthy in your old age and you think you're the one doing it. No, it's God. Can you appreciate God for that? Can you appreciate God? you're living okay, you have a job, you can feed your family, you can save. You now see it like, I want to buy this house. Is this house I want to buy? They had this house for 700,000. How am I going to get the money? You have bought that, or you applied for something. You applied for a job. You apply for a mortgage, you apply for a loan, and then it was declined, and you're angry, you're depressed. You feel like, what has God ever done for you? Why me? Why won't God just answer this thing? Why was I declined? Why was I not approved? There's always a reason for that. Before you get the next big thing, can you thank God for where you are currently? Even though sometimes most people are not where they want to be. They're not where they want to be. Especially immigrants. In the first year, it is rough. The first year for an immigrant, in most cases, it's rough. I was telling someone the other day that don't think that you made a mistake coming here. The first jobs that most immigrants get within the first year is usually a very shitty, messy, stupid job. Like, it's a job that if they tell you your lifetime you do, you will never believe. But what is a stepping stone? It's a stepping stone. We have people in their first year that are depressed. Like, did I make the right decision? Why did I leave my job? Why did I come here? Why? What? There's nothing. There's no big deal. You just feel like you made a mistake. You're depressed. You're not happy. You've forgotten that you are now in this land. You were praying for it. God has answered that prayer. You've forgotten. You've moved on. You're now looking at the next thing. Why won't I get this corporate job in this Canada? Why will I be working in this place? This is a job I cannot even tell people back home I'm doing. This is a job that I can never do in my fatherland. Like, you're depressed. You're just not happy. You go to a party. You're invited for parties. You're invited for hangouts. You're not answering. You're not going anywhere. You're just locked up in your house. Like, you're depressed. Can you appreciate God for answering your major prayer points? Because you have to believe that I am here now. I am not where I want to be. It will happen. Let me for the meantime be grateful for where I am. Not everybody is where they want to be. I acknowledge that. I am not where I want to be, but I'm grateful for where I am. 2 years ago, I was not in this position. We had not bought this house. We had not done a lot of things. I was still doing a very shitty job that whenever I'm going to resume work, I'll be having anxiety. I will be scared. I will just be sad. But these days when I'm going to my current job, I am happy. Come, are you done? Did you finish everything? So pour this in the trash. He helped me to peel Maggie cube, no cube, instead of opening it every time I want to use it. So, but currently I'm happy. Whenever I wake up, I want to go to work. I am happy I'm going to a job that I love. I work in a bank. I love my colleagues. I love my customers. I'm happy, But I've forgotten that still sometimes that I'm not happy to go to work. I just feel like I'm tired, like it's stressful, a lot of things. And I forget, just drop it here. I forget where I used to be. I forget how my previous job used to be so messy. Like my first job, I was always standing 8-hour shift. I was always on my feet with 30-minute break. I was always tired. I was always not happy. Whenever my husband comes to pick me from that job, he will see my face. He'll be like, dear, you can resign this job. Nobody is forcing you to do this job. I'll be like, don't worry, I'll do it. He will be like, you can still rest because we're just coming in. You're not forced to, as a permanent resident, if you still have your proof of fund, you still have money, you can take your time before getting a job. He was like, nobody is forcing you to do this job. He took his time to start working. I started working before my husband. I just wanted to start working. He took his time. He was always like, you can resign this job, you mustn't do this job. The job was messy. I didn't like my colleagues. It was just not a good place to work for me. I don't want to mention the place. People that know me already know what I'm talking about. So sometimes whenever I'm in my current job where I have an hour break, I don't stand, I sit. In fact, I get tired of sitting down. I have time to walk around, to stroll, to do whatever I want to do. I have time. Like, I am happy doing what I'm doing, I forget. Because of what? I have something else in my head I'm thinking about that is bothering me, that is giving me sleepless night. I'm praying about them. It just makes me look like the current thing I have, I don't appreciate it. God, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate where I am. I appreciate what I have. I appreciate my family, my kids. I appreciate where I am because I know how I was praying for it. I can remember one time, the last Salah celebration, that's Eid celebration I had in Nigeria. During that celebration, I told God that, God, this is the last Eid Salah celebration I want to do in Nigeria. By then, I had not even gotten, we have not gotten approval for our application. But I was praying to, that was to show you how I was tired. I was like, God, this should be the last Salah celebration I will do in this country. I am tired. I want this application to be approved. Let me just leave. That was my prayer point. Like every time in my head, like, God, this should be the last play I'll be doing in this country. This should be the last time I will do. This should be the last time I will do it, and God answered our prayers. And now I am here. I'm now feeling depressed. Sometimes I wake up, I look outside the window. I look out through all the windows. I don't see a soul. I don't see a human being outside. What do I see? Everywhere is pure white. Snow is covered everywhere. I don't see anybody. Everywhere is gloomy. Everywhere is looking depressing. Everybody is busy. You don't even have people coming to visit you. You can't even go visit anybody because everybody's tired. Sometimes when you see some people's call, like, you know that, okay, these people may want to come and visit you. You don't want to pick it because you're tired, you're depressed, you just want to talk to anybody. You see things happening back home, celebrations, or siblings are enjoying themselves, visiting each other, and you feel left out. The other day, my mom traveled to visit my sister in Kaduna, and I was on video call with them. I felt left out. I miss them. I miss all those things. Like, I miss my mom, I miss my sister, I miss my nieces. I just felt left out. Like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be with you guys. Like, I wish I could just step into this phone and just be with you guys. I just felt depressed. I just felt alone. But I also thank God that I know when I used to pray for this to happen. I used to pray to leave Nigeria, and God has answered my prayer now. Why am I not grateful? Why am I not showing gratitude? I know we're human. Sometimes we forget. It's our nature sometimes to forget and not to show gratitude. But come on. Whenever you remember, thank God. So there's always a place for gratitude. There is always a place for gratitude. As I said, even if you've not achieve what it is that you're looking for, it's taking time, it's been long. No matter how small it is, be grateful for that. No matter how small, they say count your blessings one by one, and you're amazed what the Lord has done. Some people can count hundreds of things that the Lord have done for them. Meanwhile, you have some people that can just count on their hand what God has done for them, material wise, like materialistic wise. I don't know how to put it, but when you look at nature, when you look at your health, when you look at other things, you can't count the number of things God has done for you, you know. So there's always something to be thankful for. When I saw this Facebook post, I forwarded it to a friend that I was just having a conversation with back home in Nigeria. She, of course, you guys don't know the person, so I'll be free to talk about it in the spirit of making this thing clear to you. She has not been lucky in terms of marriage. She got married, she had 2 kids, and the marriage didn't last 2 years. She's with the kids for years now. She's been alone. She's ready to be in relationships, but all the relationships are not working out. She meets different sort of men that just want to get down. They're not ready. They're not committed to getting married. And that my friend wants to get married. You know that some people that get divorced and they make up their mind that lie, I'll never marry. But she wants to settle down. She's a lover girl. She wants someone to take care of her. Not financially, because she's doing very well for herself. But she just wants love. She just wants a father figure for the children. She just wants a complete family setting for her children. But she has not been able to meet those people. She met somebody and she thought that person was him. Was it. And yesterday was Valentine's. So that was when they had a major breakup. Very messy, stupid breakup, and she was just crying. She's back home in Nigeria, time difference. She told me to make sure I call her, and I slept off. I forgot to call her. I know she's mad at me. I couldn't call her at the time she wanted to talk. I told her I'll call her back, and somehow I slept off. And so I forwarded it to her. I sent this post to her to calm her down, that hey, you should be grateful for some things that have happened in your life. You've made so much money for yourself. You have a job, you have a business, you have a project going on for yourself. Only you. Nobody is helping you. Most people have not been able to achieve that kind of success in Nigeria. For you to be building a very big mansion in a choice area in Abuja, it's not a child's play. You achieved that. You have a boy, you have a girl. You have kids that you look at them, you're happy, you have good health, you still have your parents, your siblings, everybody's around you. The only thing you're looking for now is a man. So don't make it look like you don't have other things to be grateful for. While you're waiting for that man of your dreams, can you be grateful for what you have currently? Don't make God angry, like to make him look like you don't have a man in your life, and I've been protecting you all this while. I've been giving you everything you want, and because I have not answered your prayer to get a man, you're rubbishing everything else that I've given to you. I sent it to her and she liked the post. She just put a heart on it. Like, I want her to take it. Is hard, especially when you feel God has not answered your prayer. We tend to forget, but whenever you remember, please just go back and thank God and ask for forgiveness, that God forgive me for not acknowledging what I have. Yeah, I hope I've been able to make sense with this. Let me go back to my dirty kitchen. I have so many things to do. If I turn the camera, you see what I'm doing now. It's a lot of things, but I just decided to take some time off to make this video for you guys. If it makes sense to you, please like this video and share to anybody you feel will be needing this, because definitely we have friends and families that are waiting for that next big thing. Let's just share this to them to make them remember that they still have something to be grateful for while waiting for the next big thing. Thank you.